Okay, so tonight we are playing Patchwork. This is a 2-player game and it's quite simple and quite fast once you figure out exactly how to play. So we're going to start off with our patchwork quilt right here. And you can see that we have a green man with a green board and a yellow man with a yellow board. And the object of the game is to go around the board and collect pieces with buttons on them to make a patchwork quilt on your board. There's some bonuses while we play. There is a bonus for a 7x7 patch. You'll get points at the end of the game if you get that first, so that should be a goal. Other than that, you want to fill up your board as much as possible because at the end of the game it is -2 points per empty square that you have on your board. In this game you do not necessarily alternate between turns. The player whose time token is the furthest behind on the time board takes his turn. This may result in a player taking multiple turns in a row before his opponent can take one, which we will show you. So to start, you place the meeple near the smallest quilt piece, which costs 2 buttons and moves your man 1 time. No one in particular starts this game, so it's either arm wrestling or arguing it out, ladies first, age before beauty, whatever you decide to do. And I'm going to be generous and let Ron start tonight.
Okay, I am going to take this patch.
Each player starts with 5 buttons. You must purchase these patches with how many buttons is specified on the patch.
So it costs 1 button and it costs me 2 time. So time is counted in spaces on the board. 2.
You can only choose from the 3 tiles in front of the meeple. So this one has 7 buttons, I only have 5. This one has 8, I only have 5. So I have no choice at this point but to take this one here for 1 button and moves me 2 times. Now because I'm on the same space as Ron, I still have to go because you must pass your opponent. The meeple also moves to the empty space which you just removed the patch from. So now my options are, I will be taking this for 3 buttons, moving me 6 spaces. Thank you. My man has now passed a button. At this point, if your man passes a button, you collect the same amount of buttons that is on your board. And in my case, at this point, I have 2. So I will collect 2 buttons from the middle and move the meeple to the empty spot. And now it is Ron's turn.
I will take the one for 4. Try to fit it in there. And that moves me 6 time.
Once again, he passed a button, so he will now collect 2 buttons for the 2 buttons he has on his board.
And because I haven't passed her yet, I'm going to take this one.
And once again, you passed a button, so collect your buttons. I will choose 2 for 2. Okay, now at this point I only have 1 button to purchase patches with, and the next 3 tiles are all very high numbers. So in this situation, you can Move spaces until you pass your opponent, in my case 1, 2, and you collect the same amount of buttons the amount of times you jumped. Plus, because I passed a button, I also collect the number of buttons on my board. And now it is Ron's turn.
I can't go either, so I'm going to do the same thing. Move 2 spaces to get past my opponent, collect the 2 buttons, and I didn't pass any buttons, so that's all I get.
I'll take this one for 5. Moving 4.
To collect any of those patches, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Collect 4 buttons. Plus I passed a button on the board, so I collect the 2 buttons from my board.
I do not have any buttons, so I have to jump Ron again. 2. 2 buttons plus what I have on the board.
So I have 11 buttons, so I think I'll just take the one for 10. And that gives me 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Now, at this point, we can point out that while he was moving, he jumped over a patch, which is literally a patch that you remove from the board, and you use it in a spot on your board where you think it might be beneficial to you. I'm gonna take this one here for 5.
And there is a button there. I don't know if you can see it.
So 5 buttons. I paid what for this? 1.
So I only have 1 button, which means I'm going to jump for 2, plus my buttons, which is 5.
I'm gonna take this one here. It's hard for short people to reach across a big table. 3 for 2. 1, 2.
I think I'll take the free one. There's 1 button, 1 patch that you get for free. It doesn't cost you any button, but it does cost you 3 time. And I get the patch, which unfortunately I have to use, otherwise I would save it.
Can I have the 4 for 2? I'll take the 3 for 4.
And you passed your buttons.
Thank you. 7.
For some reason the square one is my favorite, so I will take it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Getting lucky with the patches, special patches tonight. And I pass my buttons, so that's 6, 7, 8.
I will take the 3 for 3 green.
I think I'll take the 1 for 10.
I will take the 2 for 1. Collect my buttons. 2, 4, 6, 8. Then I will buy this one for 8 for 6. And collect buttons again. 11.
Take the 1 for 10. One, 2, 3. I guess I'll take the 1 for 1. Mm-hmm. So it costs 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I collect my buttons, which is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
I will take this one, 5 for 5.
I will take the 1 for 7. Collect my buttons.
I will take the 3 for 1. So 3 for 1, I need to move 1. So I get to go again. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13. And I will take 2 for 3. 1, 2, and 3, which gives me, I'm pretty sure, a 7x7 frame.
Yep.
On my patchwork quilt.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7. So I get the 7x7 tile for end time scoring.
I'm going to take the 2 button tea time, because it fits nicely right there. 1, 2. And I'm going to take the 2 button and 2 time. And try to fit it in there somewhere. One, two.
I'm gonna take this one for 7. Can you please move the needle over here? For 6. 1, 2, and 3. Center, that's it. Plus collect my buttons. I paid 7 first, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13, 14, 16.
So that leaves me with that one looks nice. 5, 6, 7. And that should fit right here. Which costs 2 times. 1, 2. Collect my buttons. 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 10, 5, 7, 8. And now it's time for endgame scoring. So all you do is count.
How many
your empty
spaces are empty times 2?
12.
I have 9.
Throw those buttons back in the middle. And what you're left with is your score. 18.
I have 5, 10, 17, even with the bonus. So I lost by 1. Okay? So,
Could I ask a question?
yes.
When you counted 12, did you pay 12 or 24?
12.
I have 9.
Well, isn't it each space is times 2?
I think I paid 12, didn't I?
Say you give up another 12.
Yeah,
Now, did you do your 9 times 2?
I did.
So you did 18?
Yeah. And that's patchwork. So I just want to mention one thing before we go. When setting the board up, it is completely random how you lay the patches around the board. So that's why it's hard sometimes for us to pick some because there's such high numbers. So make sure it's always random. It makes it more fun that way. And if it's ever a tie, the player who got to the final space of the time board wins.